It has been a generationally bad season for Man United. The fans have been depressed all season, especially considering the high hopes they had at the end of last season. They were so optimistic that they were saying they had a better season than Arsenal fans. But things unraveled completely this season. Everything has gone down the drain. And since it's too costly to fire all the players, here are my 5 biggest reasons why Erik Ten Hag will get sacked at the end of the season. Starting off at number 5, it's that his new big money signings have all failed. One of the biggest criticisms put against Ten Hag is that Man United have fully backed him by buying all the players he wanted. Some high profile names that they got were Casemiro, Mason Mount, Lisandro Martinez, Andre Onana and Antony. And only one of those players in Martinez has actually made a positive impact. But players like Antony, who was a player that Ten Hag managed at Ajax and they paid nearly £80 million to sign him, and he has been so bad that you wouldn't even pay £25 million for him. Now the decision to buy Antony will be one of the biggest reasons why Ten Hag will get sacked. Then you have other players that Ten Hag previously managed in Andre Onana, who they spent big money to sign, and he's been very poor for Man United. He's so erratic, made so many mistakes, and that cost United matches. Then you have players like Casemiro, who gave United one good season on a big contract, and now he looks like the worst player on the pitch. Yes, a lot of the blame has to go on the players themselves, but Ten Hag will fall on the sword for not getting the best out of them. At number 4, it's that Man United's terrible playing style and tactics. We've heard this so many times this season by the experts. What is Man United's tactics? Because even after 2 years, Ten Hag has not managed to install any playing philosophy on the team. When managers like Arteta was struggling with Arsenal, you could at least see the style he was training his players to play in. Postecoglou at Tottenham had installed a playing style immediately, whereas Ten Hag has had to flip-flop with tactics and the fans are left unsatisfied. Ten Hag said he wanted to install his Ajax possession-based playing style, but he doesn't have the players. Then he wanted to combine the Ajax style with Man United's DNA of direct attacking play, and the players don't know which philosophy to follow, and they are often dubbed the worst coach team in the league. The players often look like they have no clue what to do, the midfield always looks wide open, the midfield and the defense don't talk to each other, and it makes you question what is Ten Hag doing in training that the team is still not playing with a philosophy and a tactics that everyone is familiar with. Coming in at number 3 is the terrible stats and results this season. Now this one is a bit obvious, but the run of results Man United have been on this season is shocking. If the leadership group just take a glimpse of these stats, Ten Hag would be sacked immediately. Now let me read out some damning stats to show how bad United are this season. Currently, with 13 losses, United have suffered the most defeats they've ever had in a Premier League season. United are on course to finish 8th in the Premier League. The lowest they've ever finished was 7th. United have so far conceded 81 goals in all competitions. This is the most goals conceded by them since 1976. United have never finished a Premier League season with minus goal difference, but they are currently on -3. So Ten Hag is on course to lead Man United's worst campaign in Premier League history and is breaking records for all the wrong reasons. Usually, this reason would be number 1 for a manager to get sacked, but understanding that United have been ravaged by injuries and that's affected their playing style, so that's why this reason is only number 3 on my list. Carrying on to number 2, and that is Ten Hag is not getting the best out of his star players. The single biggest way to judge a manager's quality is he improving the players in his squad? Whether it's turning a bad player into a decent player, a good player into a great player, or a great player into a world-class player. No matter the status of the player, every player under their manager should make a forward progress, and that is the sign of a true great manager. And this season, Ten Hag has not done that with any of his players. Besides a few young players in Man Utd and Garnacho breaking into the squad, no other player has improved this season, and Ten Hag can't get the best out of his main star players. The main culprit being Marcus Rashford, who's been so bad this season, and the whole team has suffered because he's not performed well. Then you have other star players like Jadon Sancho, who was awful for Man United. Ten Hag refused to play him because they had a falling out, and he sent him back out on loan to Dortmund. And then all of a sudden, Sancho is good again at Dortmund and he's led Dortmund to the Champions League final. This is embarrassing for Ten Hag, and the United owners will be looking at Ten Hag's failures in getting the best out of players on such a big contract like Sancho, who can perform well in another squad but can't perform well for Man United. It looks like all the big players have stopped playing for Ten Hag. There's discontent in the squad, they're arguing about tactics, the players are not getting along, and usually when this happens, it only leads to one sign, and that's the manager getting sacked. And while a lot of Man United fans will be saying they need to get rid of the players, and which they do, it's very hard to get rid of all the expensive players on big contracts that have long-term contracts. You can't just get rid of them that easily. It's much easier more safer bet to get rid of the manager, bring a new manager in and hope that he can get the best out of all the players in the squad. Finally, the reason number one why Ten Hag will get sacked is that there's been a change of ownership at Man United. For the simple fact that there's a new owners of the club, they will want to bring in a manager of their choice. The new owners clearly have their own vision in their mind, and they've shown that by making several changes on the executive level. They've brought in a new CEO in Omar Berrada from Man City. They've hired a new technical director in Jason Wilcox from Southampton. They're about to bring in Dan Ashworth from Newcastle to be the new director of football. So clearly the new owners are changing everything at the club. And since they've changed nearly all leadership levels, the only position left is the manager. And they're probably waiting till the end of the season to bring in a new manager. Even if the new owners didn't mind keeping Ten Hag, you have a new CEO, new director of football, new technical director, who are all going to have their own ideas of who should be the manager of their club. None of these guys were involved in the process of hiring Erik Ten Hag initially. Ten Hag will look around and see all the people that have hired him and backed him are all gone. So he must be looking around thinking he is next. And for those reasons, I believe that Ten Hag is next and he will get sacked at the end of the season. So that was my list. This video isn't to say Ten Hag is a bad manager. I'm sure he'll get another job and do a good job there. But Man United is a beast of a club. They've got so many issues and Ten Hag isn't the man to fix it. Thank you for listening to the video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the content.